Ciao.
This episode of In the Few Minutes is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check them out at betterhelp.com/afew.
I hate when food touches.
What's the difference? It all ends up in the same place.
I hate that. I hate when it touches.
Michael.
Goodness, I don't know how we're doing this. Maybe this could be the start. This might be how tradition begins.
It could be.
Jeff Gamet is here with us, everybody, on this Thanksgiving Day here in the States. Happy Thanksgiving. To you, Jeff. Yeah, and everybody listening as well. So last year, we were in this weird place where people weren't going out, people weren't doing as much stuff. As you and I speak, I went to my first movie in almost 2 years earlier this week. It was last week now, as people hear it. Yeah, I know, right? Because The Rise of Skywalker was just that damaging. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done with cinema. But then the sandworms came, and I thought, okay, I'll give it one more shot. So this time last year, we were all still dealing with this is going to be strange. And the thing that you and I sort of focused on last year, I'm pretty sure it was me, because this is me, was the fact that the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was going to be weird. Because, they weren't going to have people there. They were pre-taping a lot of stuff. I mean, it was just going to be, you can't have a marching band of 250 kids, right? Because they all had to be on buses and planes and all that stuff. And we just weren't going to do that. And so you and I made up a Thanksgiving Day parade. And the reason I wanted to have you back this week is because I wanted to do that again. Now, I have no memory of what we did last year. As far as, I think the only thing I remember is I believe I said we should have a HomePod float, or a balloon, with a bunch of the little HomePod mini balloons sort of around it. Because I think the HomePod mini had just been introduced.
Yes,
yeah,
you're right.
And so I've left that off this year. Although if you've ever watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the balloons come back. So rest assured, everything we talked about last year could easily be there, even if we don't mention it this year. But we got some stuff to do. So what I've asked Jeff to do, and I've done it as well, come up with one float for our imaginary parade, one balloon for our imaginary parade, and then one act for our imaginary parade. And then there's a bonus float because, of course, the act, needs to ride on something. You don't have Elvis Costello walking down the street just stopping and singing at people. He's riding something before he does that. And that's not a spoiler. That's not my one act. I asked you before if you were doing Apple or tech stuff or if you were doing just general, and you said, I don't know yet. Now, you've had time to think about it. I know you've chosen now. Tell me, please, did you stick with Apple and tech, or did you just go sort of like more far afield?
I have Apple related.
Okay.
And I have sort of tech related, and I'm kind of I'm playing the field here this year.
Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. Tell me about your float first as it comes down, and if you want to do it like making an announcement or something like that, you can, or you can just tell me what we're looking at.
Yeah, well, the announcement would probably be something like, and welcome back, everyone. Oh, and here comes the next float. Oh, my gosh, just exactly what we needed this year. A happy, good feeling. It's the Ted Lasso cast float.
Okay, this is actually going to be a problem, but go ahead.
No, I have a feeling because you're saying it's going to be a problem, it's about to get even better.
Okay.
And so anyhow, there's the cast float, and they're all having a great time. The kicker is that I get to be on the float with them because they're all such awesome people. Oh,
okay. All right. Yeah. I did not have you in my parade. I mean, which is fine. I did have Ted Lasso in my parade, but you're right. That's going to be kind of a sort of a different thing. What's the float look like, though? Because you're telling me who's on it.
Oh, it looks like their stadium.
Okay.
Isn't that awful? I just totally drew a blank on the town, the
We're
stadium.
Richmond till we die. We're Richmond till we die.
Richmond.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so it's like the Richmond Stadium, sort of.
Okay.
But so it's big at the back, so it looks like the stadium seating, and then swoops down low.
Okay. All right.
And so that it's easy to see everyone, and it looks like the grass field, and everyone's there, including the dog with a helmet.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, we should have coordinated because there's going to be a bit of repetition, but that's going to be okay. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my float.
Okay.
Apple car. Funny enough, from what you talked about earlier this week, it's an Apple car float, but basically what it is there's a giant platform, and then on top of that giant platform is just a big shrouded rectangle, like black. And you can hear like noise and stuff happening inside. But of course, we're not going to see Apple Car until 2025. So this is just to keep, well, as you said earlier this week, to keep the fetish alive, to keep the interest.
Fetish alive.
Yeah, keep people wondering. So yeah, it's basically just like a giant black box rolling down Fifth Avenue, I think.
I love it. Since it's an electric car, you can't have a traditional engine revving sound coming out of there either.
No, I think it probably sounds like some of the instruments in Close to the Edit by Art of Noise. Maybe that's what's playing actually. Play Close to the Edit by Art of Noise. Kick up a few sparks every now and then, and assume that they're welding something or polishing something or just making sparks or something.
I love it. And now you have me feeling like if Apple doesn't use the Jetsons theme when they do the official unveiling of the Apple car, that they failed us on some level.
Well, it's Apple, and you're an Apple fan, so you were allowed to feel that Apple has failed you on some level. Let's talk about the balloon. What are you hoping to see? Or no, what are you planning to see? This is your parade, not what are you hoping. You're making this happen. Tell me what we're looking at right now.
Okay, so my initial balloon idea was it's a big AirTag, but there's more to it because it's the AirTag and everyone's like, hey, look, it's a big Apple logo on white and silver balloon thingy, and a big gust of wind comes up and it takes off and they lose it, and now everyone's freaking out because they lost the AirTag, and so just the whole visual joke to me was incredibly funny, and I thought, well, that's actually not going to be that great as a float or as a balloon.
Right.
So I changed it to it's Baby Yoda. But it's
I think
not just
you did Baby Yoda last year.
I may very well have.
Yeah, but that's okay because it can be back. Go ahead.
It's upgraded.
Okay.
Because this year, Baby Yoda goes along, and as it gets near the judges' stand, it barfs out like blue confetti.
Okay.
Like in the. There's the one episode where Baby Yoda stole the blue cookies from the other kid.
Yeah.
And then he got a little spaceship sick when Mando had to do all the crazy maneuvering, and then he barfed his blue cookies. So I thought that would be kind of funny that every now and then it just kind of blows out of its little mouth a bunch of blue confetti.
I like that idea. Mine is much more simple. It's an iPhone 13.
Okay.
And it's on the it's sort of like so like if you were looking up at it, you would be staring up at the screen.
Okay.
And the whole thing is honestly because the idea is, wouldn't it be great to see people staring up at an iPhone instead of staring down at one?
That's clever.
it's
I like that.
It's clever, but it's also subversive. I hope you were having a wonderful holiday season. But let's be honest, not everybody does. Holidays are great on TV and in songs, but can be trying in real life. If this is one of those holiday seasons for you, BetterHelp, today's sponsor, can help with that. With BetterHelp, you're communicating with your own licensed professional therapist, which is cool. Therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. That said, if there is something bothering you, BetterHelp is wherever you need it. It's customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, whatever is most comfortable for you. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. In a few minutes, listeners can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/afew. BETTERHELP. That's betterhelp.com/afew. As in a few minutes. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health at betterhelp.com/afew. And thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. Gamet, everybody, co-hosting today's parade coverage. Tell me, please, sir, this next act that's coming down here, I've been looking forward to this one all day. I know you were talking about it. You're excited. What's the act and what's the float they're riding on?
Oh, Ken, I have to tell you, I really am excited about this next this next act that's coming up, because after the year we've had, we've all needed a really feel-good act. And I was really surprised when they were able to get together all the people that do the TikTok duet videos to perform those amazing songs for us live in the parade.
Nice. Now, what are they going to be performing? Is this we're not going back to the pirate thing, are we?
Oh, no, we're well beyond the pirate thing. I think now, because it's so popular currently, it's the one that starts with the cat licking the milk, where it's kind of going, as it's licking the milk. And then it turns into a cover of... it's funny, I'm suddenly drawing a blank on the songs. But anyhow, it's just a wonderful little song.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've been on TikTok once. And I still see videos from place to place, but it was basically when the former president of the United States was like, that's it, we're banning TikTok. I was like, well, I got to get this. He's like, got it. And I spent like 45 minutes on it because there were so many great things that I thought, I'm just going to forget I have that. And amazingly, I have forgotten I have it. But, I mean, the other really cool thing is the really good TikTok stuff ends up on, Twitter.
Yes, it does.
Or wherever else you are. Right. Okay. So now, this is why I said initially that we might have a bit of trouble here. Because my act is either Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso or Brendan Hunt from Ted Lasso. Now the float is, how when he's down in the field and he calls up to her and she's like in the window, right? All right, so the float is those windows and Hannah Waddingham and Brendan Hunt and Jason Sudeikis and the guy from Downton Abbey who plays Leslie and Juno Temple, and I guess maybe the guy who plays Roy Kent, Brett Goldstein, might be up there as well, because now he's coaching. I don't think Nate gets to be in the float this year for obvious reasons. I feel kind of bad.
Yeah, while the actor is really great and is a very cool person, the Nate character would probably be a problem for the float.
I guess you probably could have Nate sort of sitting on the side, because down below those windows you have the team, but they're sitting in the stands, right? So they're waving at everybody as they go. And then the act, and Nate could be, still around someplace, because yes, the actor is absolutely wonderful. Nick Mohammed, I believe, is his name, correct?
That sounds right. I think you're right.
I think that's right. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, he's great. And what happened to his character in season 2, I'm not a fan. But the act is either Hannah Waddingham singing Let It Go, as she did in the karaoke episode of season 1, or it's Coach Beard singing Bad Romance. as he did in the karaoke episode of season 1. And I'm willing to flip a coin, because when she does Let It Go, it's absolutely amazing. But when he does Bad Romance, oh, doctor.